Napoleon conquered kings, but he could not conquer himself. This is not the story of his rise. This is the story of his turning point. Napoleon Bonaparte was driven by an intense need for control. He worked obsessively, slept little, and demanded absolute loyalty. He believed destiny had chosen him, and that belief shaped every decision he made. To his soldiers, he was inspiring. To his enemies, terrifying. To his allies, unpredictable. Power did not calm Napoleon, it fed his ambition. Despite his iron will, Napoleon was deeply emotional. He fell passionately in love with Josephine de Beauharnais. His letters to her reveal vulnerability, jealousy, and longing. But love clashed with ambition. Josephine could not give him an heir, and for an emperor, legacy meant bloodline. In one of the coldest decisions of his life, Napoleon divorced the woman he loved, not for passion, but for power.
By the early 1800s, Napoleon ruled much of Europe, but ruling was harder than conquering. Endless wars drained resources. Enemies adapted to his tactics, and resistance grew stronger. Napoleon began to believe he could not fail. That belief led him to Russia in 1812, a decision driven more by pride than strategy. The result was catastrophe. Napoleon Bonaparte, Part 3, Section 4, Fall, Exile and Humiliation. After defeat, Napoleon was forced to abdicate. He was sent into exile, stripped of power. For a man who once commanded empires, this was the ultimate humiliation. Though he briefly returned, history had shifted. At Waterloo, his legend met its final battlefield. This time, exile was permanent. On the island of St. Helena, Napoleon lived as a shadow of his former self. No armies, no crowns, only memories. He spent his final years dictating his version of history, trying to control the story, even in defeat. Napoleon Bonaparte died in 1821, at just 51 years old. Napoleon was not just a conqueror. He was a warning, a reminder of how brilliance and ambition can build empires and destroy them. His laws still shape nations. His battles are still studied, and his name still echoes through history. Few men rise so high. Fewer fall so far. Napoleon conquered Europe, but couldn't conquer himself. Napoleon wasn't just a general. He was obsessed with destiny. He worked endlessly, trusted a few people, and believed he was chosen for greatness. He loved deeply, especially Josephine, yet divorced her when she couldn't give him an heir. Power slowly replaced compassion. His greatest defeat didn't begin on a battlefield. It began in his mind, when confidence turned into pride. By the end, the man who once commanded empires died alone on a distant island. No crown, no army, just memories. Napoleon's life reminds us, ambition can build empires, but unchecked pride can destroy them. Napoleon conquered Europe, but couldn't conquer himself. Napoleon wasn't just a general. He was obsessed with destiny. He worked endlessly, trusted a few people, and believed he was chosen for greatness. He loved deeply, especially Josephine, yet divorced her when she couldn't give him an heir. Power slowly replaced compassion. His greatest defeat didn't begin on a battlefield. It began in his mind, when confidence turned into pride. By the end, the man who once commanded empires died alone on a distant island. No crown, no army, just memories. Napoleon's life reminds us, ambition can build empires, but unchecked pride can destroy them.
Here are fascinating facts about Napoleon Bonaparte you might not know. The height myth. Napoleon wasn't actually short. This short emperor story came from British propaganda and differences in French and British measurement systems. Not fully French. He was born on the island of Corsica and originally spoke Italian before mastering French. He crowned himself. In 1804, during his coronation, Napoleon took the crown and placed it on his own head, refusing to let anyone, not even the Pope, crown him. A legal legacy. His Napoleonic Code reformed civil law and still influences legal systems in many countries today. A romantic side. He wrote thousands of letters in his lifetime, many of them passionately addressed to Josephine. The 100-day comeback. After being exiled, Napoleon returned to power for 100 dramatic days before his final defeat. Obsessed with legacy. Even in exile, he dictated his own memoirs, determined to shape how history would remember him. Love him or criticize him, Napoleon Bonaparte reshaped Europe, and his name still echoes through history.